When I tell a story, it's like a journey for me. I connect with the story and with the audience in a way that it's like magic happening at that moment. I see the spaces, I see the characters, and I experience what is going on in the story. It's like a very special moment. It's an experience, and it's just unique. I have that experience, a living experience with the story and the audience. I am Maria del Carmen Ordonez. I am a storyteller from Ecuador who likes to share my own cultural heritage and my folk tradition from Latin America with everybody.
Now I'm calling us all together with a very beautiful and rare instrument. We have really an exciting afternoon planned, and we have storytellers from all who are going to be telling stories from many different places, and that's very exciting. And the theme, because it's the international storytelling theme of the year, is strong or clever women.
Well, good morning. Now we're going to go to Latin America. And I come from Ecuador, but today I'm going to share a story from Venezuela. And it's called The Magic Eagle. Hace mucho, mucho tiempo, Dios Chess bajó a la tierra para dar un presente muy importante al jefe favorito. Long, long time ago, God Chess, Dios Chess, came down to earth to bestow a very special gift to his favorite chieftain, Jefe. It was an eagle made of solid gold, un águila de oro macizo. It was so beautiful that the bird looked almost alive. El Jefe took the eagle, the águila, in his hands and stared in silence. He didn't know how he was and his people was really honored with such important present of Dios Chess. But God Chess knew why the Jefe was in silence, and he said, "It is because of your kindness, your wisdom, and your devotion that you and your tribe are awarded this special present." But the Águila de Oro is not just beautiful, it has magical powers. It will provide you with victory in the battles and fortune in the times of peace. Well, Jefe was so humbled and grateful and said, "We'll keep the Águila de Oro in a safe place. And whenever you need it back, you just give us a sign." And so it was that generation after generation, the people of the Timotean people of Venezuela, they had great fortune and victory because they kept the Águila de Oro with them. Until something very unusual happened, something that never happened before. A princesa rise to the throne. Because in the law of the Timotean people, a woman can succeed the chieftain if there wasn't a son. The princess was a beautiful, very thin woman. Everybody loved her. She was looking fragile, but she was strong, very strong-minded, and the people were very happy with her just ruling. But her friends sometimes wondered. She kind of looked fragile, and indeed, she hasn't ruled many moons until she got very ill. And the illness took all her body, and she was very weak. Night and day, she had fever. All the doctors, the chamanes, tried to make all kinds of brews to heal her, but no results. The priest went up to the temple and brought sacrifices to the god Chess to pray for the health of her princesa. But no results. All the tribe painted their bodies red and danced for day and night, and danced to pray to god Chess to restore her princessa's health. But no answer, and the princess went weaker and weaker each day. One early morning, she woke up restless, and she called in her weakly voice to her best friend and companion, "Mustafa, Mustafa, venga, venga. I had a dream. In my dream, God just talked to me. He wants us to restore El Águila de Oro." Mustafa said, "Oh, princesa, era solo un sueño. It was just a dream. You don't need to worry. Go back to sleep." But the princess said, "No, it wasn't a dream. Dios Chess is talking to me. If we don't bring back the eagle, I will die." Well, Mustafa was troubled. See, no one, just the chieftain, could go up into the mountain peak where the temple was. So she sobbed and said, "But my dear princesa, how I will find my way? I will get lost in the middle of the canyon and the jungle." The princess said, "Do not worry. God Chess will show you the way and will protect you all the journey. You just have to go, and I cannot go. I'm very weak. So you are the only one, my friend, that can go to return the magic eagle." Mustafa was scared. She didn't know what to do. But to see her friend dying on the bed, she finally, the princess took her hands in hers and said, "Don't worry, God Chess will protect you. And as long as you go up to the mountain peak, find a place close to the door of the temple and bury the Águila de Oro there. And remember to call 3 times so that you wait for God Chess' message." So it was. Mustafa took a black and golden woven cloth, and in that she put the magic eagle. And like that she took and started her journey. The journey was long, and as long as she walked, she felt her burden was heavier and heavier, and more she needed to rest. But then she thought about her friend, her loving friend, and somehow her feet got strength and she kept going. Finally, she reached a place when she could see the magic mountain there. And somehow that gave her more strength. Her heart was filled with joy, and she started running faster and faster. At the end, when she started climbing that steep mountain, it was like her feet were taking her like wings. She couldn't understand how fast she was going until she reached the top of the mountain, and then she sat to catch her breath. The day was almost over. It had been a whole day journey. But she was worried. She had to go back soon for her princesa. So she tried to find a big stone, and with a big stone, she really dug a hole. And then she took out the Águila de Oro, and she buried it in that place. She was crying. That was her most precious treasure for all her people so many years. "Would I ever see you again?" she said, and she buried with so much sadness inside the ground. And then she remember what the princess has told her and called 3 times, "God chest, God chest, God chest," and stayed in silence there. But nothing happened. For a while she felt asleep. When she woke up, it was already dark. She was scared, but she couldn't go back in the darkness. She will get lost. Besides, she had to wait for God's chest's message. So she decided to wrap herself in the black and golden cloth and find refuge in some rocks. And there she spent the night. The next day, very, very early she started. And she looked outside, and it was very unusual sight. Right there, in the same place where she buried the Águila de Oro, there was a full-grown bush, all full of green leaves and purple blossoms. That wasn't there before. Mustafa was amazed. She came close, and as she came closer to the bush, she hears a voice. "Take a dozen of my leaves and wrap it in the cloth that you brought the magic eagle. Take that to the priests of your people and ask them to make a hot tea for the princess to drink, and she shall be healed." Mustafa did as God's chest advised her. She took all the leaves and wrapped it and left the blossoms there for more plants to grow. And she immediately started her way back. She ran as fast as she could until finally she reached the princess, and she told her all the story. Immediately, the doctors made a very strong tea with those leaves. And through the night till the next day, the princessa started drinking that hot tea that restored her health. After 2 weeks, the princessa was strong enough. She could herself going up to the mountain to give thanks to God's chest for having given her that plant that restored her health. It's not by coincidence that women go up into the temple and bring gold and take back herbal medicine for her people. Wise women have been doing that for many, many years. And I feel very connected with this story because for a long time I've been suffering of very painful chronic illness. And I didn't know what to do. The doctors couldn't take away my pain. And somehow I had the opportunity to meet a very special woman who is a saint from India, Amrita Amandaji. She comes every year to Toronto, and she is devoted to give unconditional love by embracing people in a very special and spiritual hug. And this woman has been coming for many years, and I've been going with my husband to see her and learn from her teachings. And the people who follow her said to me, "Well, why you don't ask her about your health? How you can restore your health?" And I went to see Amma, and I gave her a hug, as always. She gave me a hug. And I asked about my health, but she just looked at me with so much compassion and didn't say anything. She just hugged me. The person who translated my question was there, and she also saw that she didn't say a word. After that, the day after, I felt worse. I asked my friend who was there and translated my question, said, I asked the question, but she didn't say anything. And she said, "I'm sorry." Yes, she didn't say a word. She just looked at you with compassion. Well, that night, I had dinner with some other friends that were there, and I told them the story, what had happened with Amma, and my question. And they just look at me and say, "Well, you know, maybe we have to try this therapy that we do. We'll help you at least to go through the winter with that." Well, they've been followers of her teaching, and for them, unconditional love and service is their prayer. And they did this just to help and to make this unconditional love happen through their own service. Now I'm not taking any drugs anymore. I'm taking just herbal medicine. And the unconditional love that those two friends make it possible for me to feel healed. So I think those two stories connect in a very special way. Thank you.
So this is a very
Old
story.
Old story, yes.
Old, wonderful story. And how did you find the story? Do you want to come up so people can hear you?
I found it in the book that Harry gives me.
Harry.
It's a great book about all our folktales about strong women.
Yes.
And I love because they're very powerful stories.
Yeah,
Well, here's
the one
the
I did
compassion.
last night was splendid.
Thank you.
And thank you, that was just wonderful.
It was beautiful.
You like it? Do you like it clear?
Fearless woman, fearless, what are daughters, sisters, Reagan. I mean, I've given you more than one book.
I know.
No, you did really well. Thank you. I'm glad I came.
I am glad that you like it. You're really my coach, my mentor.